Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of It Is 9 p.m. and I need to do a daily video today. I have been working on going through a photo gallery this evening, which is from a model shoot here in London. So I was working with a model who I met quite by accident. I'm not going to show you the whole gallery, I just want to show you a few images. So, younger sort of photographer who's a little bit more at the beginning of their career reached out to me to ask me more about the process of shooting fashion and portraits and stuff like that. And in some ways, it's so flattering when somebody asks you that question. It means that they admire your work, but it also leads to some pretty important self-reflection as well, because a lot of what I do is very, very intuitive, and I don't these are micro artistic decisions done in the moment, and I can show you technically what to do, but the actual soul of the image is it's just something that emerges in collaboration with the model, um, a lot of luck and experience, really. But I want to show you these four images. So I guess number one, um, the best tip for shooting this sort of work is to work with really fun, kind people who are open and expressive in front of the camera, who are so beautiful as this model is, and somebody who you can really connect with and get that spark of um, recognition or playfulness, or for want of a better phrase, where they'll actually let you see their soul. And it sounds funny to say, but that's essentially what makes a really good portrait. It's a show-stopping portrait. Now, there are a couple of things, and as I go through these images, you'll see how I'm playing with the layouts and the composition. But the lighting in this series of photos is extraordinary. This was all natural lighting. We just got very, very lucky in a lot of ways. So I absolutely love this image. You look at her hand; it's drawing you into the photo. It's quite intimate in that we were both sitting on the same bench. Um, Her face is a little bit dark, but you're also preserving the background, and it's like you're there. You're in this beautiful, softly lit moment, and you can really see who the model is. So for this one, this is the way I shoot is very natural. I do give prompts, and um, some models really appreciate prompts. I also work with a lot of people who are not models, which is a different way of shooting as well. But when you have somebody in front of the camera who's really confident, who's comfortable with their body, and who's very naturally graceful, it's almost better just to leave the camera running and just allow them to move and interact with the space naturally. So in this one, she's more interacting with the bench that she's leaning on and sitting on. It's a little more thoughtful, a little bit more withdrawn. It's almost as if something has been said that she's considering. Her hand is still reaching towards us, is still inviting. You can see there's an indication of jewelry on her hands, but the focus is still very much on her face and what she might be thinking about. And that beautiful blurred background. Thank you, Fuji lenses. Now this one, I absolutely loved this photo because, and the way she was wearing that hood, it almost reminds me of like a medieval knight, or it brings to mind the fairy tales. And there's something, this was shot inside a, a roofless or burned out church, and there's almost something religious about covering your head as a mark of respect. You see it in lots of other cultures, but it was also extremely common in Europe right up until the last 50 to 100 years, where you wouldn't go to church bareheaded as a woman. You can see her fingers playing there, and she's a little bit more at rest. This is where the moment becomes a lot more private, and it's the composition of the photo is drawing you in towards her face, and there's just enough light on the face where you can see her smile and see her smiling in that sort of private dream state. And there's something very mysterious and very intriguing about this. um, there is a wrinkle on the hood, which, you know, you can't control everything, and I don't edit these images. I'm not going to alter them. They're just a snapshot of what was. Um, and then it leads us to this photo, which arguably is the best of the four. And this is a really good reason to keep shooting, because often magic is just a few nanoseconds away. And a really good tip, if you're a photographer, um, is to keep the camera rolling, to keep shooting as you announce that the shoot is over. It works like a charm every single time when people, no matter how relaxed they are in front of the camera, visibly relax, fall into more natural expressions, maybe stretch their hands or their neck, maybe kids hug their mom. Um, you want that moment of relaxation, and I this is often one of the prompts that I give models is, you've done enough. Rest now. Rest in this environment. There's something really important about this hand position here. Now, I can't remember. I think I posed her hand like that, but I'm not entirely sure. It's not 100% natural, but it's perfectly positioned to guide us towards her face. And she is hooded, she's covered, very modest attire in this photo, and you can just about see the details of the bench, which is a memorial bench, which is such a beautiful symbol in itself. But this is probably one of my favorite photos that I've taken. It was a big shoot, with a very, very high rate of photos for the hour or two that we were shooting. Um, and I'm so, so grateful to the model for her trust. But I hope this very short snippet shows you a little bit about selecting the photo, because I'm honestly coming to the conclusion that um, curation may be the most important part of photography, in that you are choosing the story that tells the image you want to tell. Like, take this image versus this image. Very different stories, very different person in some ways that you're photographing. Um, so being aware of that, and knowing and being very conscious of the person that you are shooting with, and the story that you are choosing to tell. And maybe that could lead into another conversation of photographing honestly. Um, these images are not edited, so I'm shooting in black and white in the camera, obviously adjusting, keeping pretty tight control of both focus and shutter speed, to get the kind of texture and look that I want. Um, yeah, it's an extraordinary gallery, and it's one of those reminders to that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't gone to a place and met this lovely person, and if she hadn't so kindly agreed to do the shoot, these images wouldn't exist. And I have become really, really open to the synchronicity and the magic of meeting people and creating art together. So I will be publishing the full gallery pretty soon, probably in one of the next few videos, um, or at least the select images that tell the story I want to tell. All right, have a good night.